Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Liberate Lunations. My name is Eleonora, and today we're going to be talking about the new moon in Pisces that happens on March 2nd with its peak time of 9:34, and that's for Pacific Standard Time. So this is a pretty intense new moon, like not in a bad way, it's just lots of energy and potentials to be discovered. So let's go. Okay, for starters, we have the Sun and Moon conjunct Jupiter in Pisces and sextile Uranus in Taurus. So we had Jupiter sextile Uranus last lunation, the full moon in Leo. And this time around, we are adding both the sun and the moon to this aspect. So it's emphasizing more on the need to tend and care for ourselves, both emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So get in touch with yourself and nurture the parts that you've been rejecting. Next up, we do have a Venus-Mars-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn. So again, in the full moon, we had just the Venus-Mars conjunction, which could have been more of like, yeah, I'm here to have fun and I'm here to just explore and release and do all that. But now we have Pluto in the mix. So it's here to make everything more dramatic. And that's just what it is. It doesn't have to be bad. Just make sure you don't act on impulse on any intentions or goals that you're planning on setting for this next lunar cycle. Is in the next 6 months, no, the next month until the full moon, but until the full moon in Pisces, which is going to happen during Virgo season. So this conjunction can kind of help us dig deep and really learn and analyze our values, our security system, how we show up for ourselves, and how we let others take space in our lives too. Lastly, we do have Mercury, Saturn conjunct in Aquarius. Now, I think this is the key aspect to having a more logical approach to this lunation, because we do have a lot of water and earth energy complementing each other, which is great. But sometimes they can gas each other up a little much. So having this Mercury-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius can bring some perspective and can probably bring some structure and boundaries when it comes to what we actually want to speak out in the world versus what it's meant to be just for us, for analyzing, for reflecting, and other stuff like that. All right, you know what time it is. It's time to pull a card, an energy we can rely on or get a message from for this new moon in Pisces happening on March 2nd. Okay, so we got 10th house. I kind of actually like this. For those of you who don't know, the 10th house usually deals with themes of legacy, of career, and of public image. And I don't say public image like if you're a celebrity, just like public image, how other people view you, because it's the most visible. It's the highest point of the chart. It's the most visible part of your chart, and it's basically the external expression of your ego. So it doesn't have to be work related. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So I think we are called to pay attention to what we really want to manifest. What does our ego really want to express and be not only seen as, but be out there as, I guess. Think of things, now that this might be too deep, but think of things that you want to be known as or want to represent and leave behind in this world. Like, what kind of work do you want to do? It's what do you want to do? What do you want to manifest? What is your biggest dream? Take inspiration from that and start building up on that. All right, for crystals to recommend, I'm going to recommend amethyst, and I know I've recommended that before, but I think with this being a pretty intense new moon, we could use some comfort and anxiety/stress relief, as well as something that helps us keep in touch with not only our higher selves, but our guardians and our angels and our guides. For events to recommend during this new moon in Pisces, make sure to check the description box down below so you can see what is happening at our locations. All right, guys, that is it for this new moon in Pisces that's happening on March 2nd. I hope everybody's doing great. We had that intense full moon and now we have an intense new moon. And then we're gonna have another intense full moon. So just gear up. The year is starting strong. Getting these intentions out there, but let us know how you're feeling. Let us know what you are planning on manifesting this new lunar cycle. Other than that, I hope you're healthy. I hope you're happy. Sending everybody much, much love and many, many blessings, and have an amazing new moon.
A reading is a shared time and space with someone who is spiritually connected.
An opportunity to get clarity and reassurance, guidance on any area of your life that you may feel stuck or not in flow with.
So readings are basically extremely helpful for you to make decisions that needed to be made.
For having clarity on life's questions, healing, empowerment to move someone from fear to being empowered.
When you're feeling stuck, when you can't answer the question yourself, when you find yourself in a little bit of a spin out.
I don't think there's anything that a reading is not good for.
You know, the perfect time for a reading can be any time.
We are constantly changing, so we are constantly coming up against obstacles or reoccurring patterns that we need to check in with.
When things just feel really heavy and dark and you might be a little confused about some of the things on your path, maybe certain relationships or opportunities.
So we all have blind spots. So when you find yourself in a blind spot, that's a really good time to get a reading.
So readings are good to check in to find out where your progress is through the eyes of someone else who's holding you in the highest good for all concerned.
Change is always good ultimately, and sometimes it's hard to see that, and readings bring you back to that center of what it's for you.